I am back on part 8. Oh, yeah, let's fix that really quick. Oof. Oh yeah, I'm supposed to sleep. Heh, in real life too, but that's not working out for me right now. Titan says, hold on, Faye, are you prepared? There's no turning back. Huh? Yeah, you're right. I'm ready. There's still some time before the train arrives. Let us rest here a while. Titan says, the tower we want is over there. Hurry. Yo. Where is that ladder? The Amazoness says, sorry, I can't go in the arena. No matter what you say, I can't. Well, it's time. Tonight's train will be coming through here. I wish you success. Maybe we can meet again. Faye says, whoa, what the? Titan says, that was a close one. We almost got thrown off. Faye says it's all because of those mischievous punks. When the old man's gone, they always do this. Oh well. Titan says, kinda odd hearing that from a mischievous you-know-who. Faye says, huh? You say something? Titan continues, well, anyway, we should be alright if we take this all the way. As for the mission, so far, so good. Faye wonders what that sound is. It appears that the train connector is failing. Titan says this train is falling apart. That was another close one. Faye says, what if it derails before we get there? Titan says this one's unstable too. Let's get to the front. Okay. Titan says one disaster after another. Faye says pretty unreliable train. Titan says the entrance to the ventilation shaft that leads to the gear dock should be coming up soon. Here we go. Guess they're just jumping off trains. Alrighty. Someone is approaching. We should hide, said Titan. Every day, work, work, work. Doesn't anything fun ever happen around here? No doubt. That last champion looks like he's been matched with the beast. Now that's something. Let's get this work done and go check it out. Yeah, we need to do that. We've been working too much lately. It's over an hour. Oh, a fight apparently. Take a peek. It's a lot of gears. Faye says, hey, that's obviously Weltall. Well, he's not terribly interested. Let's see. That doesn't appear to be anything. Looks like there's plenty of different ways I can go. Make sure you return the master key back to the shelf. Yes, sir. Well, how fancy. This should do it. Hey, did you all hear? The battle between the X-Champ and the Beast is about to begin. Oh, it's already starting? There's no way we can miss this. It sounds like an interesting execution. Make him fight something, or who knows. Received master key. Hey, Faye, wait a minute. What's wrong, Doc? This is a part that allows a gear to recover 30% of its HP. If you have this equipped, you can activate this during battle. It is a highly useful item, but the drawback is that you will use fuel, so you must use it with caution. Faye says, that really doesn't matter unless we get back that gear, Doc. There's no one here, so let's hurry up and get out of here. Oh yes, my usual habit. Well, we should take it anyway since we have the chance. We be stealing stuff. Alright. What do we got in here? Use the key. Oh, that's that one room I jumped across that ledge. Alrighty. Nothing too interesting in there. I got a tent. And we are in the gear hangar. And we have Waltall. Or maybe not. Let's see if it'll let me get in from the menu. There we go. Where to go, though? Automated gear shop. I think I have all that stuff. And let's get 2 of those. What's that there? Ether machine. Seems good to me. Maybe I'll just go on this ramp. Oh, okay. I didn't catch what he said. Okay, so I already got that done. Rico says, who would have thought I'd be battling using only my body? Rico says, must be my imagination. Rico says, that's not my imagination. What is this vibration? Gear doesn't vibrate like this. It can't be. That's a rain car. Crap, you gotta be kidding me. I'm supposed to fight that without a gear? That sound, a gear in flight? A black gear. Him? Rawr. Looks like I punched a dinosaur right in the face. That puppy is dead. Rico says, why are you here? Faye says to get this back. It's not that I came here to save you. The elevator I happened to use to escape put me in the arena. I saw you were getting attacked. That's why I saved you. Nothing more than that. Rico says, for a coincidence, that's a convenient story. Faye says it's up to you what to think of it. So, what are you going to do now? Rico says, do what? Faye says, I barged into the arena. We're also fugitives. That's why we must escape. If you stay, they'll probably make you fight that monster again. This time you're gonna die. Faye says, is that what you want? Even you must have things left to do here. But in your state of mind, Rico says, shut up. If you want to escape from the Empire, do it now. I have no intentions of leaving, even if this is going to be the end of me. Faye says, what's that? Faye says, what is this vibration? Rico says it's not coming from the ground, but in the atmosphere, so perhaps it's an airship. Faye says, whoa, that doesn't sound good. Dang, they got some heavy anti-aircraft weaponry. That central portion sticks out like a sore thumb. Looks like it might be flight capable. Faye says, what is that? Faye, it is an aerial attack by Ava, or should I say Gebler, says Seitan. They really are intent on attacking the Imperial capital. Faye says, what? What about the civilians? Seitan says, they plan on directly attacking the capital, Nortune. My god. Seitan says, that ship is heading to the power plant. Oh no, that's a nuclear reactor. Most likely that ship is their main line of attack. If they drop something on the reactor, the whole Imperial capital will, Faye says, be blown away. If we can change their course, will that help? Seitan says yes, however, Faye says, Doc, I'm gonna try. We can't just turn and run away. Seitan says, alright, be careful now. Seitan says, if those civilians don't hurry and get out... ... Breuer says, what? Who's that? Aren't those the Ava pirates? Ellie said, that's Faye. What the? Stratsky says, hey, this is Kislev. What's he doing here? Helmholtz says, he seems to follow us everywhere. Vance says, what's with this guy? A little too persistent, perhaps? Breuer said, third time's a charm, let's get him. Ellie says, wait, but yeah. Ellie says, Rank. Rank says, from our last incident, I can tell that you're friends with that Gears pilot, but there's no way we can stop. It doesn't matter that we're escorting the Hecht. I want to fight him, not as enemy soldiers, but as rival competitors. We're the Gebler Special Forces, and we won't be beaten. Sorry, I'm gonna have to kick his butt. Any objections? Ellie's just like sitting there mute. Faye says, you're in the way. Move. We must change the rear ship's course, or Explodey Town. Now he's saying, what? You again? I guess it's time to punish these dudes again. Ka-chow. Oh boy. Faye says, this is meaningless. And the attacks just keep on coming. Oof, that thing is spanking me. How much fucking life does this thing have? Jeez. Satan is trying to evacuate the Kislev people. He's saying, everyone over here, hurry. Hammer says, Master, there are people over there that can't get out. We're doomed. Satan says, don't get up, Hammer. Don't give up, Hammer. Faye is fighting too. Faye no longer wants to watch innocent people lose their homes, their town, those that are important to them. Rico says, my town. Don't make me laugh. Who gives a damn about this crap town? Someone says, even you must have things left to do here. Rico says, I'm crap too. Faye says, I've had it. Alright. Oh, of course. Bites the dust. Only 2 enemies, huh? Looks like Rico's joining in. He says, what a joke, wasting time on a couple of guys like these. Faye says, Rico? Rico says, I don't need a reason to beat the crap out of anyone who pisses me off, and of course that means you too. Faye said, that's also one reason. Rico says, shut up, let's go. Okay. Getting my ass blasted. Let's maybe cure myself since... Ugh. Just get it done, for fuck's sake. Alright. Wow, they're just gonna only attack Faye, apparently. Well, we have sent them off. Faye says, Ellie. Rico, sorry, but go on ahead. Rico says, what? You've come this far and now you're scared? Faye says, I'll catch up, I promise. Please. Rico says, well, even without you, I can make do by myself. Then I guess I'll go on ahead. Alright, Faye says, you're kidding. What are you doing here, Ellie? I thought you agreed to get out of the military. Ellie says, that's asking too much. I'm an officer of the Gebler forces. Faye says, then you're saying this is also one of your duties? Ellie says, yes, my duty is to escort the Hecht and to eliminate all enemies that get in its way. So you better get out of the way, because if you don't, then I'll have no choice but to eliminate you. Faye says, are you serious? You do know what you're doing, don't you? How can you say that knowing where that ship is headed and what the outcome may be? Faye says, come on, Ellie, say something. Ellie says, I know, I do understand what I'm doing. Faye says, then... Ellie says, change. How I wanted to change. I've thought of changing, but I couldn't. I don't have the freedom like you do. Faye says, freedom? Me? Ellie says, yes, am I wrong? To be able to choose where you belong? To be able to fight alongside those who believe in their own cause? Even if you have much more anguish to deal with, at least you have the freedom to choose your own path, unlike me. Faye says, then why don't you do that too, Ellie? If I could, I would already be doing it, but I can't, says Ellie. This is my place, and that's how it is here. Okay. Ellie says, so please understand. Faye says, Ellie. Faye continues, I don't have a place I belong in either. Ellie says, huh? Faye says, Bart and crew, even their whole ship, are all missing. They disappeared after the battle with Gebler, so I don't have a place to belong to anymore. Ellie says, really? Then why are you fighting? Who are you fighting for? Faye says, do you enjoy this? Ellie seems confused. Faye says, barging into someone else's country and destroying the place, dragging innocent people into becoming victims, do you enjoy fighting that much? Is it that much fun for you to watch people die? Ellie says, don't be ridiculous, I would never find pleasure in that. Faye says, if that's the case, come with me. Ellie says, what are you doing? Faye says, just forget everything and come with me. Faye says, let's go. Ellie says, ouch, what? Faye says, just come. Faye says, look at this town. Take a good long look. This is what you've done. Does the word duty justify all of this? Does it? Ellie. Ellie says, but that's all that was left. Faye says, you're still saying that? And apparently slaps her. Or doesn't. Faye says, it's just not like you. If you don't want to do it, then don't do it. You shouldn't have to force it just to have a place to belong. Faye says, what was I fighting you for just now? You wanted to know? I don't really know. I know I was helping Bart and the others, but I still don't know what I should do. Maybe I'm just looking for a place to fit in. But I think it's better to fight than do nothing. If fighting helps you or your friends even a bit, then it's worthwhile. That's not nothing. It's something. Ellie says, Faye. Faye says, I'm going. Ellie says, no, you can't. Domini is not like the other soldiers. She's an elite within the Gebler elite. She's one of the elements, Ramses' personal guard. You won't stand a chance. Faye says, still, I have to stop this. Ellie is pleading with Faye, but Faye interjects that Seitan and Hammer have nothing to do with Kislev, but they're trying to get the civilians to safety. Even Rico, who must hate this town, still stays with me. That's why I have to go. Ellie says Faye's name again. Yeah, I should probably save. Let's see what we can... Rico says, what were you doing, Faye? Were you expecting me to do all the dirty work of clearing away these punks for you, alone? Faye says, sorry about that. Oh, but I see you've made a girlfriend. If we can defeat her, we should be able to change the course of the ship. Let's go. Dominia says, just one more extra runt isn't gonna allow you to down the ship bomb Hecht. Faye says, of course not. We're gonna take this ship down. We're gonna take you down. Dominia says, ha, what insolence. But what do you expect coming from lambs? Oh, what do we got, meow? Well, let's just boost it up. Dominia says, why, you remember this. One day I'll pay you back, I promise. That was a lot easier than I thought it was going to be. Faye says, there's no time, Rico. Hurry and change the course. Both of them exclaim as the ship falls out of the sky. Looks like Ellie has made up her mind about something. Faye says, damn, there's too much mass. Ellie, you, says Faye. Ellie says, hold on. We can avoid a direct hit on the reactor with 3 gears. Faye is moaning. Apparently this is strenuous for him. Rico says, okay, we steered it from the power station. Let's bail out Faye. Faye says, but now it's headed right for the residential district. Ellie says he's right. We need to bring it down somewhere where it won't cause so much damage. Rico says that's impossible. We can't change its course any more than we have. Faye says, no, we've got to hold it up as long as we can. Rico says, what are you, deaf? Rico says, we're overheating. Faye says, damn, not now. Rico says, there's nothing more we can do. Hanging on will just be suicide. Faye protests. Rico says, that's it, I'm bailing out, come on. Faye screams Ellie's name for some reason. Faye says, stop, what are you doing? If you do that... Faye says, don't worry, my gear is from Solaris. It's still alright. Faye says, Ellie, what are you doing? If you keep going, you'll... Ellie says, but what else can we do? At least it will reduce the damage. Sorry, it's better than doing nothing. Faye screams out Ellie's name yet again. Ellie is pleading with her gear to hold on a little bit more. Looks like it ran out of fuel. Ellie says, is this it? And her gear falls out of the sky. I think that's Graf's gear. Looks like the Hecht is gonna explode. Ellie doesn't believe she's alive. Who are you? Why me? Ellie says wait, but whoever that is long gone. Faye and Ellie say each other's names over and over again. Apparently, this has some kind of understanding to them that I do not grasp. Faye, Ellie, Faye, Ellie, Faye, Ellie, Faye, Ellie. Faye calls Ellie stupid, and Ellie says, "Are you crying? I'm sorry." Faye says, "It's okay." Ellie says, "Can you forgive me?" Faye says, "It's not your fault, Ellie. It's not your fault." Ellie says, "Faye, for the 900th fucking time." My god, we get it. You two wanna fuck. Just do it already. Faye says, "Ellie, let's go back." Ellie says, "That person. Where? They flew off, bitch." Too much repetition. My god. Ellie says, "There's no one here, except for these other two people that are in the room, I guess." Faye says, "Where did the owner of the house go without locking up the place?" Citan says, "The furnishings are untouched. They probably left when Ava attacked." Ellie stays silent. Clearly, there's a point to having all these ... dialogue boxes. Faye says, "Looks like Hammer's here." Hammer says, "Bro, Citan, I got key info that should help us get out of the capital." Faye says, "What's the info?" Hammer says, "The Empire's new super airship, the Goliath." "That's it, bro." Citan says, "The Empire's new creation, the super airship Goliath." Wow, let's say that twice. Ellie apparently needs to say it a third time. Hammer says, "It's beyond big." Ellie says, "My name's Ellie." Hammer said, "It's beyond big, Ellie." Hammer says, "The Goliath is of extraordinary magnitude. It's said that the Goliath can even make a gear look like a pea. It's rumored that it can even decimate the Ava capital, Bledavik, all by itself." Faye says, "By itself annihilate Ava? It must be monstrous. We get it, it's big." Hammer says, "According to my reliable sources, it's located north of Kislev in an underground dock at a military facility." Ellie says, "The military facility north of the capital? Let's just drill that into your brain." Faye says, "Ellie, what's wrong?" Ellie says, "I know that facility. I've talked to you about it before. The Imperial facility I infiltrated. I never knew that something like that was in the basement." Citan says, "Ellie, do you think you still remember how you got in?" Ellie says yes. Ellie says it's way north, beyond the Kislev Imperial capital, beyond the carved-out portion of the mountain peak. That's where the facility lies. Faye says, good. Let's go before there's a counterattack. My god. Hammer asks me if I want to buy stuff. Apparently he doesn't have anything. But he sees fit to waste my time anyway. Hammer says, oh yes, I forgot to tell you about Master Rico. Faye says, you've seen him? Hammer says, yeah, I brought up the plan. He says he can't help us though. Faye says, I see. Citan says, Faye, he has his own path to take, let us go. Apparently Ellie needs to talk too. She says, Faye, we must hurry. My god, someone slapped this bitch in the face. Faye says, yeah, I know, we have to hurry. Oh, Jesus Christ. Faye tells Hammer to follow behind them once it's safe. Hammer says okay. Faye, again for the 8th time, says let's go to the facility up north. I think that's about the 8th time. Hammer says, just a minute, there's something I have to tell Ellie. Hammer says it'll be quick. Will these bitches ever leave this room? Find out never, because they're still in this room for some reason. Oh dear god. 50 dialogue boxes to say go north. Let's concise this shit down a little bit, please. Can I not go this way? Is there a reason? Alright. The city guard says, isn't that the guy from the wanted poster? The other guard says, everyone has 2 or 3 doppelgangers. Besides, if he was that guy, do you think we'd have a chance against him? Let sleeping dogs lie, huh? Exactly. We're just gonna pretend we didn't see him. I guess one of them thinks they're a hero. Now we gotta beat some ass. Let's say things that are extremely obvious. The guard says, oh no, they're serious. We probably can't beat them. Rico is my best friend right now because, you know, he just stopped us from listening to 40 more dialogue boxes saying, oh, should we go over there? Faye, Ellie. Faye, Ellie. Should we go? I don't know. Faye, Ellie. Rico said he's coming with. In way too many words. Dear God. Rico says he's just hitching a ride, basically. Citan says, that's good enough for us. Ellie agrees. Rico says we don't have time to stand around here. Yet they continue standing around there. They again tell me that the place we're going is north of here. I think that's the 400th time. Rico runs away for no reason. My god. Looks like Big Joe says you can change your party at the Wildcat. There's no need for that, because Rico sucks. He's too fucking slow. Okay. Ellie apparently learned a shitload of stuff. Wow, she has no moves at all. That's epic. Okay. Should probably get on my gear. Alrighty. Yes, military facilities apparently need to make their place labyrinthine in nature. Apparently, Hammer can change my party also, which is nice. Let's tune these gears up. She has a more powerful thing, but like no hit points whatsoever. That's good enough for me. Actually, let's take Rico's equipment off. Alright, doesn't look like he has personnel items, so... It is time to kill stuff, apparently. Oh, I can't change the camera. Actually, I think there was whatchamacallit, a new weapon for her. Might as well get it. Didn't even move when I got attacked. Oh boy. Oh, for the love of God. Seriously? I received number 2 cylinder. Jesus. our fuel back up. Here comes Bobby. Let's see how this works. Not really worth it, I guess. Okay. Would be great if I could, like, heal. Rico says he can't believe they made this thing.
What?
Satan says, shall we see if it works? Doc, do you know how to operate it, says Fee. Satan says, not really, but Faye, you were not thinking of stealing this big thing without knowing how to operate it, were you? Satan says, well, anyway. Hammer thinks this thing is incredible. Ellie says, wow, they're close to having it operational. Satan says, I think we can do it. Well then, shall we go? Yeah. Well, everyone, this could be dangerous, so please be seated. Satan says, is everyone ready? It'll shake a little. Couldn't you tell us before? Satan says the shaking has subsided. We should be in good shape. Hammer says, what are we gonna do? Go to Ava? Faye says, yeah. Satan says, Faye. Faye says, what happened? Well, 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 there's Graf. He doesn't have bat wings, so it must have been someone else that helped Ellie out. Faye says, it's him. Ellie says, where are you going? Faye says, I'm gonna go out. Ellie says, Faye. Hammer says, Master. Even Ellie. Well, I guess Satan's flying this puppy. Alright, Faye says, Graf. Graf says, the Goliath wasn't built for you to use. You must remain on this land a little longer. I can't have you leave. Is he gonna fight me? Like, not even in his gear? Wow. That's nasty. Let's see if any of this works on this guy. Oh, that's a pretty good amount. Let's just have her keep fucking him up with this stuff. Looks like Graf bit the dust. He says, so, you can now draw upon more of your power. If that's the case, then... Satan says, Faye, hold on tightly. Graf says, huh? You're just gonna shake him off, I guess. Bye, bitch. Hammer is slipping. Hammer says, look out. Satan says, it doesn't matter that I was shaking this plane all around. They should be fine. And directs Hammer to start shooting at stuff, I guess. Satan says, Hammer, calm down, pull the trigger and fire. How fancy. Like this? Satan says, good, don't move your aim. Get ready to fire in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, blast off. Hammer says, aw yeah. Hammer thinks he's a genius because he shot that guy. Now he's wondering if everyone fell off the plane. Hammer gets punched because, well, he deserved it. Faye says he has a bad feeling. Satan says, are you thinking of Graf? That won't get you anywhere. Faye says, it's not that. It's an uneasiness feeling. I've had it before. Satan says, you too? Well, to tell you the truth, I'm getting a terrible feeling of deja vu. Faye says, I feel like we're being watched. Bingo, our information was correct. It's Kislev's. It's huge. It appears to be the Goliath. Yeah. There goes Bart with the friendly fire again. Bart says, no need to let him go so fast, right? And I guess he's gonna do a shooty shoot. They're gonna use a weapon called the Bart missile. Someone's very self-involved, obviously. Franz says he doesn't hear anything that sounds threatening. Mason's like, what the hell are you doing? Young master, again? Says Sigurd. Bart says a bunch of things regarding preparing for shooting that airplane. Gunner, give me the trigger. Well, you dirty bastard. Ellie says, what's wrong? Faye says, nothing. Ellie says, okay. Anyway, Satan, is it okay? We're flying in such a large ship. What if our enemies find us? We're fine. I thought ahead and picked a course over the sea. There are no military units stationed out here. Even then, this thing won't go down so easily. Or will it? Satan's like, are we being attacked? Faye says, enemies. Satan says, I don't know. I didn't think anyone would be here. Ellie says, are we okay? Satan says, nope. He's telling them to abandon ship. Satan tells them to hurry. He commands that Hammer go as well. With the dawdling, my god. I think half of this game's length is repeating information. Satan knows it was Bart, basically. He's like, I think you need to learn how to discipline that son of a bee. Now we fall out of the sky. Bart says that's the power of the Bart missile. Looks like it's crashing right into the Yggdrasil too. Meanwhile, on board Car's ship, one of the people that works there says, "We have the coordinates of the recent vibrations. It's northeast of Lahan. It's definitely a gatekeeper, whatever that is. There are no regular mainland flights." Ramses says, "Could it be Shivat's Alpha Aura?" They say no. And they say they can't believe the Lambs have a ship equipped with a gatekeeper. Ramses thinks that it's Kislev's. Graf appears and says, "Shouldn't you pursue?" Graf says, "The one who caused you so much pain and grief is on that ship, and it's headed for Aquavi." Ramses says, "Put all crew members on emergency alert, we're attacking." Miang says, "We can't, we don't have orders." Ramses doesn't care. He's just gonna do whatever he wants. He basically just becomes more and more unhinged the more he fails, which is often. Graf stops Miang and says, I said your tricks will do you no good." Miang says, "I'm just trying to help. Didn't I help get those shackles off? Now you know the vessel will only respond to the chosen one. They don't know this, but he's necessary for Kar. He's the very meaning of Kar's existence." Miang continues, "I must thank you. After all, you did help me." Miang says, "Was it for me, him, or yourself?" Someone on the ship says, "We will take the boundary between gates 1 and 2. It's the shortest way." Ramses says that's fine. Looks like Dominia is withdrawing in Haishao. She will pursue the battleship. And one of the other element girls said something too, but... Anyway, the Gazelle Ministry thinks that Ramses is disobeying orders and should be excavating anima relics. Ramses is probably after him, which is Faye, who is also Id. And they ramble on ramblingly. They say it was beyond that. They were attracted to him. Unexpectedly, it's developing into the same condition as 500 years ago. That does not rule out the possibility he planned it this way intentionally. The transfer point is Akabi. It's near the Thames. If it is Aquavi, Krelian's headed that way. Krelian himself? What for? Seems they found it. For over 4,000 years, he searched for Zeboim's legacy. The Emperor says yes, nanotechnology. The land of all creations, the capital of Zeboim culture, resting beneath the ocean of Aquavi. For 19 years, the ethos kept it a secret. The Gazelle Ministry asks, is this acceptable, Kane? The Emperor Kane says it will do for now. The alien head says 19 years. That coincides with the time when the Earth shifted. They debate whether that technology is crucial to them. They say they don't know what he's thinking. Emperor Kane says, let it be. I will take responsibility for that. On another matter, weren't you going to eliminate it? They say it's just by chance. It is probable the location is Ignis. Anyway, I never believed it would be eliminated so easily. The purge was a failure. This shall never happen again. If the Animus are together, it is all the more reason. Yes. Kane, why are you concerned about it? To us, he is insignificant. It could only be a poison to us. It could never be a remedy. They continue rambling nonsense. However, Kane does not reply to their nonsense. The robots claim that they are God, when it's really just kind of like the Magi system in Evangelion. It's just, you know, a bunch of like brains in a computer. It appears that Ellie is shipwrecked. She wonders where she is. She screams out Faye's name. Oh my. Rumble, rumble. Faye says, Ellie, you're awake. Ellie says, what were you doing? Faye says, looking around. And he says there's less than 2 days worth of food. Ellie says, where is everyone? Are we the only survivors? Faye says, we gotta do something, guess I'll catch some fish. Ellie says, Faye. Faye says, they're okay. Ellie says, what? Faye says, they're okay, Doc, Rico, Hammer, everyone. They're all gonna be okay, even though he doesn't know that. Hammer, Rico, wake up. Rico says, what is this place? Something smells. Hammer says, where are we? They're on the Yggdrasil too. Citan says, we are inside the ship of Bart and his crew. They rescued us after we were shot down. Rico says, who the heck are they? Citan says, they're bandits that rob Ava. Bart is the leader. Rico says, a robber? A man with an attitude, I like it. Citan says, do you want to start off by going to meet him? Rico says, you read my mind. Hammer says, I'm staying here. Mason says, sorry to have fucked you over again. Apparently he has chronic lumbago, and it's gotten worse. He is repeating the same information. Bart says, well, if it isn't Dr. Citan and his friend. I see you've woken up. I'm sorry about what happened. Please forgive me. Rico says, I have a name. It's Ricardo Banderas, but everyone calls me Rico. What are you apologizing to us for? I had better stop beating around the bush. Citan says, what he's trying to say is, they shot us out of the friggin' sky. And they also saved us. Bart thinks it's funny that his ship did such a good job blowing up that ship. Rico attacks Bart because, duh, Bart's a frickin' moron. Ellie thinks this thing was floating unusually. She thinks Welltall and Bearge are underneath there. She thinks they're useless in their current state, being that she can't break through metal walls and, you know, get the gears out. She says, Faye, the gears are underneath us, but we can't reach them. She asks what Faye is doing. Faye says he's trying to catch fish. Ellie says, you're not gonna catch that and eat it, are you? Faye says, if we don't eat, we die. Ellie says, you're joking, you'll get sick. Faye says, you're not gonna eat? Let me see, we need something to cook it with. Ellie says, stop it, I won't be to blame if you get sick. Faye says, once it's in your stomach, it's all the same. Ellie says, Faye, look there. Faye says, what? Did the fish get away? What are you talking about? It's still there. What the? That's... She-bat. Faye recalls he saw that in the desert. Ellie says it's She-bat. Faye says, oh yeah, Wise Man told me that's where my dad was in the military. Ellie says, really? It's a country outside the reach of Solaris. They use the same kind of barrier, so you can't reach it by conventional means. Faye says, how does something that flies that high considered a country? Ellie says, I don't blame you for being surprised. It usually hovers over the region known as Aquavie. You probably saw it on some sort of mission. That's why it was flying so low. Faye says, She-bat. Bart says, those missiles were not such a good idea. We saved the friends, but I wonder what happened to the other friends. I'm sure they're alive, somewhere. He says, the sea breeze stings my eye. This is what they call the sea. Bart thinks he should apologize. Oops. Wherever they're at. They are not here. Now I play hide and go seek with the people. Maybe not here. Whatever. Probably don't need to do that right now. Bart is trying to get Rico's attention. Rico says, I thought I dealt with you a while ago. I'm not the type to dwell on the past. I'm more concerned about these gears there. Who the hell are you? I'm amazed you tuned them to run so well. I thought Faye and I were the only ones who could work gears that well. Bart says, wow, you really are the battling champ. Oops, I mean ex-champ. I'm amazed that you can tell how good a gear is just by looking at it. Rico says, you can't learn all about the world inside a dark prison. Rico thought he was going to move on, but now he wants to join Bart. Bart says it's okay. Oh, Roy. Now I guess I gotta find the rest of these douches. They of course couldn't be standing all next to each other because that would be too hard. Where's the stupid place? Citan says, Bart, do you want to talk to me? Bart says, I'm sorry. Citan says, I guess it couldn't be helped. He reminds him that a king should keep calm. Bart thinks Mason says the same stuff. Bart wants to ask Citan a question. Bart says he knew this ship existed after peace talks. Citan says, what's bothering you? Bart says, the symbol is not our crest. Citan says, this is... Whose crest is it? Citan says, it looks like Shivat's. He thinks the ship wasn't made by Bart's father. And suggests that Bart's father sealed it because it might have been too powerful. Bart's like, okay, so this wasn't ours to the start. And he says, I want to meet the amazing people who made it. Citan says, they may be closer than you suspect. Bart says, huh? Citan says nothing. Bart continues to apologize. Citan says he's sure everybody's fine, and we know as the viewer of the game that everyone's fine. Those people that are shipwrecked are wondering how long it's been since they've been shipwrecked. Feelings, the movie. Faye's saying, there's a side of me that comforts itself like that. That doesn't mean I don't want to help, but that doesn't mean I really want to help either. It might be nothing, but it sure isn't the whole either. I had been drifting, led around until I met you, Ellie. Now we're stranded in the ocean. I'm sorry I got you involved. Ellie says, it's okay, don't worry about me. I've been thinking about why I'm here. I could have just gone back, but for some reason I didn't. Probably because you said it's better to do something than nothing. I think that's why I felt I had to do something. It's okay to not feel whole, even if you only feel partially complete. If you repeat that enough, eventually it'll be whole. A part is better than nothing. You're right, I'm sorry. Faye says, if we're saved, will you go back? Ellie says, I probably won't go back to my squad. Right now I don't want to be there. Besides, I could probably do something else. I don't have to be in the army. So I'm thinking of going back to my country. Faye says, is that possible? Ellie says, it's not like anyone knows what I did. They've probably already classified me as missing in action. Faye says, I hope you'll survive. I'm sure you'll find what you want to do in your life. Ellie says, you said something about being comforted. Faye says, yes. Ellie says, don't be too hard on yourself. All of us want to be needed at times. And accepted. Even me. Remember how you forced me to eat those emergency rations? And then threw up, apparently. Ellie told him not to eat it. Faye said it tasted gross. Faye says, if we don't do anything, we'll die. Ellie says, I was hoping to save this a little longer, but this should hold us for another day. It's for emergency calories, so it's probably not going to taste great. Faye says, it's dry and crumbly. Ellie said, I thought so. You don't like it, do you? Faye said, no, it's good, it's great. Whatever you'd share with me couldn't be that bad. Ellie said, you forced yourself to eat that, didn't you? For me to survive, it would have been better not to share it, but watching you eat it, even though it tasted bad, comforted me. I felt glad that I shared it with you. It made me feel better. Faye says, for your own sake? Ellie says, yes, for my own sake. Selfish, I admit, but I think it's okay to be that way. Little by little, you learn about your own happiness, and someday you are able to share that important part of you with someone else. Someday. Faye says, what's up? Ellie says, nothing. It felt as though I told you this before. Must be my imagination. I couldn't have said it because we've only just met. Yes, just my imagination. Wake up, Ellie. Good morning, Faye. You're up early. Faye says, no time for formalities. Look at that. Ellie says, huh? Apparently the Thames is nearby. And it drifted right into that little claw thing, which is super convenient. And they are now saved. A dolphin says, I'm surprised that you are living afloat on the vast sea. On top of that, you have 2 gears. That's unheard of. Ellie says, thanks, you helped us out. The dolphin says, thank the captain. The one that asked us to pull you out was the captain. Faye says, the captain of the Thames? And the dolphin explains that Thames is this city at sea where you are now. The captain is a bit of a strange old chap. You'll see when you meet him. That's not to say he's a bad old blighter. Ellie says, what about our gears? The dolphin says, don't worry about it. We put them inside the Thames. Seawater got inside, so it'll take a while to fix them. Faye says, you're repairing them? And the dolphin says, pretty strange for us to be so nice. I bet that's what you're thinking. But really, we had no choice because it's the captain's orders. Well, I gotta go. I'm a busy guy. Come to the bridge after you've looked around. I'm sure the captain would want to meet you. Ellie says, Faye, what's wrong? Faye says, I feel like I've seen that guy somewhere before. Never mind. Alrighty. I am on Operation Find a Save Point. There we go. Alright, I think that's going to be it for me. We will see you probably tomorrow.